Good evening, students, faculty, and parents. Welcome to our third annual but first ever virtual Decision Day. My name is Cammie Badman, and I am an English teacher at Sullivan High School. The following ceremony has been organized so we can learn all about our 2020 graduating seniors, their accomplishments, and their plans after high school. In doing so, we will also learn about all of the phenomenal opportunities offered here at Sullivan High School. Following the Decision Day portion of the ceremony, we will have this year's senior superlatives, which will also be published in the yearbook. For this, each year, the SHS Retrospect staff organizes the senior superlative survey to include the best categories for their classmates. Following the senior superlatives will be the departmental awards, where the presenting teachers' videos will play. We will then conclude with a message from Mr. Allen. Before we get started, I need to take a moment to thank Mrs. McClellan, Mr. Vay, Mr. Weldy, and all other teachers who have been a great help in creating this ceremony. We hope you enjoy it. Without further ado, we will begin our Decision Day ceremony with Kelsey Allen.
Kelsey plans to attend Lakeland College. Her future goal is to become a doctor. During high school, Kelsey worked as a lifeguard. She cheered for 2 years. Kelsey's favorite memory is sitting in choir and goofing around when they finish their music with Mr. Wilson. Her favorite teacher is Mr. Wilson because he was always down to have talks when students needed him. What she'll miss the most is sitting in photography having talks with her table. Some additional information Kelsey wanted to share is the career English assemblies, although were overwhelming and hectic at times, they managed to pull through. Couldn't be more proud of y'all. Next up, we have Claire Appleby, who plans to attend Lakeland College to major in cosmetology. She plans to get a cosmetology degree, then transfer to another college and possibly major in something else. During high school, she was involved in show choir and dance team for 2 years, and art club for 1 year. Claire's favorite memory from high school was seeing her friends and boyfriend. Her favorite teacher is Mrs. Hardiman. She is 100% the best teacher she's ever had. She will miss Mrs. Hardiman, Coach Bales, and her friends. Some additional information Claire wanted to share is, I loved participating in art club with Miss Nichols, and I'm so thankful for all the teachers that always pushed me. Next up, we have Brianna Barracks. Her plans after high school are to work at the Moultrie County Beacon here in Sullivan. She would love to work at the Sullivan Chamber and Economic Development in the future. During high school, she worked at the Moultrie County Beacon. She was involved in mirror images for 1 year. Her favorite teacher is Miss Nichols because she always gave Brianna good advice and she helped her through the hardest time of her life, and she will forever be thankful for that. Some additional information Brianna wanted to share is, all I did through high school was work. Sad face. Next up, we have Jade Bassett. She plans to attend Lakeland College to major in early childhood education. Her future goal is to go to Lakeland for 2 years, then transfer to EIU to major in early childhood education. During high school, Jade worked as a cashier and a delivery driver at the Sullivan Pharmacy. Jade will miss seeing her friends that she has grown up with her whole life every day. She will miss all the memories the most. Next up, we have Ryan Batman, who plans to attend EIU to major in audio engineering. In the future, he would like to become a sound engineer. During high school, Ryan worked at the Sullivan IGA. For 4 years, he was involved in marching band and concert band, and for 3 years, he was involved in jazz band and basketball. Ryan's favorite memory is being a part of the basketball team. His favorite teacher is Mr. Bertetto because he always makes his lessons fun. He will miss his friends. Next up, we have Ashlyn Bennett, who will be attending Illinois State University in Normal, Illinois, to major in dance teacher education. In the future, she would like to own a dance studio or become a travel choreographer. Ashlyn received the Redbird Academic Scholarship. During high school, she was the clerk at the Little Theater on the Square. For 4 years, Ashlyn was involved in track and field, dance team, where she held captain all 4 years, Sullivan Singers, where she was the captain the last 2 years. And for 3 years, she was involved in FCCLA, where she served as the committee advisor. and NEHS, where she served as a sergeant at arms. For 2 years, she was involved in football cheer, student council, where she served as treasurer, book club, and student leadership team. And for 1 year, she was involved in volleyball and NHS, where she served as the treasurer. Ashlyn's favorite memory is performing at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville with the Sullivan Singers. Her favorite teacher is Mrs. McClellan because there is always fun in her class. She is there for any student, whether it's to talk or get help on schoolwork. She is someone who truly is trying to make this school a better place. She will miss everything show choir. Some additional information Ashlyn wanted to share is, I've received an Outstanding Performer Award and 3 Leadership Awards. Next up, we have Ethan Berger, who will be attending Lakeland College to major in English, all while working at Mason Point. His future goal is to become an English teacher. During high school, Ethan worked at Mason Point. For 3 years, he was involved in FFA, and for 1 year, he was involved in yearbook. Ethan's favorite memory was homecoming. His favorite teacher is Mr. Bertetto because he's never in a bad mood and always made him happy. Ethan will miss making people laugh. Some additional information Ethan wanted to share is, I was nominated for Breakfast of Champions. Next up, we have Mariah Booker, who will be attending Richland College in Decatur to major in sign language. Her future goal is to help others with ASL. During high school, Mariah worked at Dollar General. For 4 years, she was involved in golf, FFA, and mirror images. Mariah's favorite memory is being on the golf team and coming out of her shell by being in mirror images. Some additional information Mariah wanted to share is that she attended Girls State. Next up, we have Lainey Boyer, who will be attending Lakeland College for Business and Cosmetology. Her future goal is to own her own hair salon. During high school, Lainey worked at Subway and the Findlay Marina. She was involved in singers, FFA, and bass fishing for 2 years. And for 1 year, she was involved in art club. Lainey's favorite memory was the photography trip to the City Museum in St. Louis with Miss Nichols. Her favorite teacher is Miss Nichols because Lainey always enjoyed the projects in art and art club, and she was always there to help out. She will miss the home football games because she always enjoyed seeing her classmates come together to support the football team. Next up, we have Mina Corkle, who will attend Illinois State University in Bloomington to major in education. Her goal is to become an early childhood educator and later go into social work. Mina received several scholarships, including the Redbird Academic Scholarship, Billy Harris Education, Delmar Elder, Gibby and Ruth Florini Memorial, and Lippincott. During high school, Mina worked at Monocles. For 4 years, she was involved in basketball cheer and singers. For 3 years, she was involved in NEHS and student council, where she held the position of class president. For 2 years, she was involved in the dance team, track, volleyball, FCCLA, Spanish club, NHS, and book club. And for 1 year, she was involved in New Gen and the Future Educators Club. Some additional information Mina wanted to share is her favorite memories from high school are the nights spent cheering on the basketball team. She always had such a good time with the cheer team, and she has loved watching the boys grow and improve every season. She's going to miss seeing all of her classmates and teachers and just being at school in general. She's also going to miss football games and basketball games and dances. Next up, we have Sierra Creek, who will be attending Lakeland College to major in art, then to EIU to major in digital media technology. Her future goal is to become an animator. During high school, Sierra was a cashier at IGA. For 1 year, she was involved in football cheer, track, show choir, art club, and NHS. Sierra's favorite memory is Mr. Becker teasing her from time to time, especially when she'd leave to go to Florida every year. He'd always find a way to make fun of her and embarrass her in front of her classmates, but that was always the best part of her day. Next up, we have Sierra Decker, who will be attending Lakeland College to major in social work. In the future, she hopes to receive her master's degree for social work and then work for DCFS or another facility. During high school, Sierra worked at Subway and the Moultrie County Beacon at one of the Scylla houses. For 2 years, she was involved in FFA, and for 1 year, she was involved with the prom committee. Sierra's favorite high school memory would be the pep rally before homecoming and then going to the game later that night with friends. Her favorite teacher is Coach Bales because he always told them bad dad jokes. She will miss seeing all of her friends and going to the school dances. Some additional information Sierra wanted to share is, I was in service learning all 4 years, and I did community work outside of school and now have 189 service hours. That is absolutely incredible. Next, we have Gwen Deeples, who will be attending Lakeland College to major in agriculture, business, and supply. Her goal is to become a seed salesman at a farming company. She has received the South Central FS Scholarship. During high school, Gwen worked at North End Pub and Grill, Mason Point, and AgriFab. For 4 years, she was involved in volleyball, where she was the captain her senior year, student council, and FFA. For 2 years, she was involved in softball and track and field. And for 1 year, she was involved in book club and Scholastic Bowl. Gwen will miss all of the friends she made and all of the different extracurriculars that she was involved in. Her best memories are from all the games, practices, events, and activities of all the sports and clubs she was in. Next up, we have Maddie Donsbach, who will be attending EIU to major in elementary education. Her future goal is to become an elementary teacher. During high school, Maddie worked at Subway and CVS. For 1 year, she was involved in softball and FFA. Madison will miss seeing her friends and classmates every day. She will also miss her favorite teachers. Some additional information Maddie wanted to share is, I was nominated for Breakfast of Champions sophomore year and earned high honor roll all 4 years. Next up, we have Mackenzie Easton, who will be attending Lakeland Community College to major in criminal justice and forensic science. Her future goal is to become a forensic pathologist. During high school, she worked at Eastview Terrace. For 3 years, she was involved in basketball cheer. Mackenzie's favorite memory is falling outside of Mason Point and tripping Jessi in the process. Her favorite teacher is Mr. Wilson because he was always there for her to talk to and help her out with anything she needed. She will be missing homecoming and prom and not being able to see her friends every day. In my apologies, she will be attending Lincoln Land Community College. Next up, we have Cameron Eccles, who will be working at the IGA here in Sullivan after graduation. His future goal is to eventually become a mechanic or an electrician. During high school, Cameron worked at IGA. He was involved in FFA for 4 years and bass fishing for 3 years. Cameron's favorite memory was when they went to the bass fishing tournament and it was cloudy when they showed up and while they were fishing. The day was starting to be a good day, but when they left, they were all soaking wet thanks to Mother Nature. They ended up having a great time, caught a few fish, and made some good memories. Some additional information Cameron wanted to share is, I like CB radios and I am studying to be an amateur radio operator. Next up, we have Trey Fleming, who will be attending Lakeland College to major in dental hygiene. In the future, he hopes to become very successful and hopefully work in real estate. During high school, Trey worked at Mason Point. Trey will miss seeing the people in his class and learning so much in high school. Some additional information Trey wanted to share is, high school really taught me a lot of life lessons, and I'm so glad I've made it to the end. Next up, we have Sophie Foltz, who will be attending Lakeland College to major in elementary education. Her future goal is to love her job and be excited to go to work every day. During high school, Sophie worked at IGA. Sophie's favorite teacher is Mr. Becker. Even though his classes were pretty difficult, he always pushed them to do their best while still making it fun. Next up, we have Maddie Gaither, who will be attending Lakeland College to major in nursing. Her future goal is to go to college and become an RN. During high school, Maddie worked at Subway and Patterson House. She was involved in basketball cheer for 3 years. Madison is going to miss seeing all of her classmates every day and cheering. It's going to be very different going to another school and not seeing her everyday people. High school is a routine with the same students and same teachers that she has known for years. She'll also miss seeing Nikki in the office asking her how her day is and how long she has until graduation. She's also going to miss the small town feel. Next up, we have Dayton Gardner, who will be attending EIU to major in music education. His future goal is to become a high school band teacher. Dayton received the Barbara Steffens Scholarship. During high school, Dayton worked at the Sullivan IGA. For 4 years, he was involved in marching band, where he was the woodwind section leader, pep band, where he was the manager, and jazz band. For 2 years, he was involved in FFA, where he served as the Chapter 16 reporter and Mirror Images, and for 1 year, he was an NHS. Dayton's favorite memory is the marching band games, getting to play with his friends in all of the competitions. Dayton's favorite teacher is Mr. Schaefer's because he has inspired Dayton to become a band teacher. His passion is amazing and he will go out of his way for any student. He will come in or stay late to help a student if they really need it. Dayton will miss being able to see his friends and teachers every day. Some additional information Dayton wanted to share is, I auditioned for the ILMEA Jazz Festival this year at Charleston and made it. I have also been nominated for Breakfast of Champions 3 times. Next up, we have Zane Gardner, who will be attending Lakeland College for 2 years, then transferring to the University of Illinois to major in agriculture education. His future goal is to become an ag teacher, but also have some spare time for art. Zane received several scholarships, including the Joe and Aline Steffen Scholarship, Agricultural Endowment Scholarship, Christina Sanders Memorial Scholarship, Dennis Hutchings Memorial Scholarship, and the Sullivan Education Association Scholarship. During high school, Zane worked at the Sullivan IGA. For 4 years, he was involved in FFA, where he served as the chapter treasurer, the Section 16 FFA vice president, as well as the chapter reporter, the Section 16 FFA president, and chapter president. For 2 years, he was involved in NHS and NEHS, where he served as the reporter. For 1 year, he was involved in art club, book club, future educators club, basketball, and track. Zane's favorite memory was being crowned Mr. Redskin and seeing the entire class come together, which was inspiring to see everyone support him. His favorite teacher is Mr. Lockwood because he's always been there for Zane. Mr. Lockwood has encouraged Zane to commit to FFA, and because of that, he is so grateful to have Mr. Lockwood in his life. Zane will miss FFA, all of the memories he has made within the organization, and the younger members he has been able to help. Some additional information Zane wanted to share is, I had the opportunity to attend the FFA Washington Leadership Conference thanks to the Sullivan FFA alumni. The conference was a week-long conference held in Washington, D.C. The conference focused on servant leadership. This was the first time I'd ever been to Washington, D.C., and it was one of the greatest once-in-a-lifetime experiences I have had. I met so many new friends and made a lot of connections with people from all over the United States. I am very grateful for the opportunities I was given, and I will utilize these skills that I have gained from this conference for the rest of my life. Next up, we have Aaron Garvey, who will be attending EIU to major in pre-physical therapy. His future goal is to eventually obtain his doctorate and become a physical therapist. Aaron received the American Legion Post 68 Scholarship, DMH Dr. Joseph Schroet Scholarship, Lippincott Scholarship, and the Sullivan Civic Women's Club Scholarship. During high school, Aaron worked at McDonald's. For 4 years, he was involved in baseball and basketball, where he served as captain. For 3 years, he was involved in NEHS and Spanish Club, where he served as the vice president in both. For 2 years, he was involved in NHS, where he served as vice president, and football for 1 year. Aaron will miss sitting at the table with the boys every day. Some additional information Aaron wanted to share. Just a short little message to the rest of the 2020 class. I know this year has not gone how any of us probably wanted, but I just wanted to take a minute to thank each and every one of you for making this long journey one to remember. I hope you all go on to do great things. Here's to the GOAT of all graduating classes, the class of 2020. Next up, we have Myles Gregory, who will be attending Lakeland College to major in English. His future goal is to become a film director. During high school, he worked as a babysitter. For 4 years, he was involved in Sullivan Singers, where he served as dance captain. For 3 years, he was involved in EHS. And for 1 year, he was involved in NHS, student council, prom committee, Spanish club, and book club. Myles' favorite memory from high school was the trip to Nashville, where singers got to perform in the Grand Ole Opry. Some additional information Myles wanted to share is that he was on homecoming court freshman year. Next up, we have Luke Harlan, who will be attending Lakeland College to major in physical therapy. During high school, he worked at Courtyard Estates. For 4 years, he was involved in football, and for 2 years, he was involved in basketball and baseball. Luke's favorite memory is being a freshman playing as a varsity quarterback. Some additional information Luke wanted to share is high school flies by too quickly. Next up, we have Ashley Hernandez, who will be taking CNA classes at Lakeland. Her goal is to become a CNA. During high school, Ashley worked at Eastview Terrace. She was involved in book club for 4 years. Her favorite teacher is Mrs. McClellan. She's always been able to get through to Ashley when no other teacher could. She makes her days better, and she is one of the teachers that genuinely wants her students to do wonderful things. She's going to miss interacting with people, especially the teachers. Next up, we have Gary Hirschberger, who will be attending Lakeland College to major in video game design. His future goal is to become a video game developer. Gary received the Lakeland Presidential Scholarship. In the summer, he was Mr. Weldy's assistant, worked for his uncle, and worked as an assistant groundskeeper at Eberhart Village. For 4 years, he was involved in golf, baseball, scholastic bowl, and marching band. For 3 years, he was involved in NEHS, Spanish club, NHS, where he served as a sergeant at arms, and WISE. And 2 years, he was involved in basketball and tech club. Gary's favorite memories are winning regular season conference in Scholastic Bowl and going to state in golf. He will miss year-round sports and the routine. He loves sports and competition, and unless you played in college or go professional, it's very difficult to get that after high school. Without the routine school gives him, he sometimes struggles with knowing what to do when. Some additional information Gary wanted to share is, I hit a hole-in-one during a golf match. Next up, we have Ian Hill, who will be attending EIU to major in music education with a master's in education administration. His future goal is to become a dedicated band teacher, then work his way through the ranks to superintendent. During high school, Ian worked at IGA. He was involved in baseball, golf, and marching band, where he served as drum major all 4 years. He was involved in NEHS for 3 years. And for 1 year, he was involved in Scholastic Bowl and Mirror Images. Ian's favorite memory is spending time with band and teammates. Win, lose, or not play at all, they're all still a family. Some additional information Ian wanted to share is that he was in jazz band for 2 years, pep band for 4 years, concert band for 4 years, Eastern Honors Band, went to state twice for discus in middle school, was the baseball regional champion in 7th grade. He received the Joe Marks Award for baseball, was the Defensive Player of the Year for Moultrie Douglas Baseball, and he also achieved Eagle Scout rank. Congratulations on that, Ian. Next up, we have Cheyenne Hunter, who will be attending Blackburn College in Carlinville, Illinois, to major in biology. She wants to become a disease researcher. Cheyenne received the Blackburn College Merit Scholarship, Lippincott Scholarship, Marvin Rice Oris Punches Scholarship, and the Sullivan Civic Women's Club Scholarship. During high school, she's been a delivery driver for the Sullivan Pharmacy. For 4 years, she's been in marching band where she served as the brass section leader, Scholastic Bowl where she served as the JV team captain, and Spanish Club where she served as treasurer. For 3 years, she was involved in jazz band and NEHS where she served as the director of activities. For 2 years, she was involved in NHS, and for 1 year, she was involved in FFA. Cheyenne's favorite memory is marching band freshman year. They were playing in their last competition at U of I and were not expected to win much of anything. However, Sullivan won first place, surprising many other bands there, and surprising themselves as well. Some additional information Cheyenne wanted to share is, my biggest regret from all of high school is not being able to finish dissecting my cat. Wait, not my cat. My cat like the one the school provided. Already dead. I'll never forget you, Rigby. Get it? Like rigor mortis. Next up, we have Brant Jessi, who will continue as a Special Olympics athlete and further his education of learning life skills with his peers. He will miss seeing his 2020 classmates during the day and getting hugs and handshakes from them. Next up, we have Corrine Keene, who will attend Lakeland College to major in early childhood education, where she will also be cheering for the Lakers. She wants to become a 4th grade teacher in a small public school. During high school, she worked at Windsor's Pub, Sullivan Dance Studio, and for the IRC. For 3 years, she was involved in singers and basketball cheer. For 2 years, she was involved in student council, dance team, and football cheer. Corrine's favorite memory in high school was the senior night game for basketball cheer. Next up, we have Jessica Keith, who will be attending Liberty University Online to major in psychology. Her future goal is to become a crisis counselor. During high school, Jessica worked at China King and Eastview Terrace. She was involved in general choir for 4 years and the Redskins daycare group for 1 year. Jessica's favorite memory is getting coffee almost every single day her senior year. Her favorite teacher is Mr. Wilson because he's an amazing teacher and he helps students overcome their problems. No matter what the problem is, he's always there to listen. She will also miss seeing her friends every day. Next up, we have Drew Kirk, who will be attending Indiana State University to major in mechanical engineering. His future goal is to own and operate his own business. Drew received the Ellsworth and Nellie Lehman Collegiate Scholarship. He's the owner of Four Seasons Lawn Care. He also worked at the Finley Marina as the dock worker and the Sullivan Civic Center as a lifeguard. For 4 years, he was involved in FFA and Helping Hands. For 3 years, he was involved in marching band, concert band, and pep band. For 2 years, he was involved in track and field, student council, and singers crew. And for 1 year, he was involved in NHS and Mirror Images. Drew's favorite memory from high school was taking his camper and a bunch of his friends to the football games and tailgating. Some additional information Drew wanted to share is as follows. He's been involved in Boy Scouts for 7 years and earned the rank of Eagle Scout during his senior year. Awesome job, Drew. He was also part of Arrow of Light for 2 years, his youth group for 5 years where he attended 2 mission trips. He's part of the Sons of the American Legion for 2 years. He received his open water scuba certification in 2019 and his IDNR boat license in 2011. Next up, we have Kat Kite, who will be attending Elmhurst College in Elmhurst, Illinois, where she will be double majoring in biology and psychology while running cross country and track. Her future goal is to complete a bachelor's in biology and psychology and then continue on to medical school to get a degree in psychiatry. Kat received several scholarships, including the Founders Scholarship, Krantz Merit Award, American Dream Award, Calvin Family Memorial, Greg Taylor Memorial Track, J. Leonard Brown, L.J. Hollenbeck Track Memorial Award, Leon Lane Memorial, Lippincott, Seth Dunscombe Scholar Athlete, and Sullivan Civic Women's Club scholarships. During high school, Kat worked at North End. For 4 years, she was involved in cross country, girls track, where she served as captain, singers, student council, where she served as secretary, and the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. For 3 years, she was involved in FCCLA, where she served as vice president, and NEHS. For 2 years, she was involved in basketball and NHS. For 1 year, she was involved in basketball cheer, book club, prom committee, baccalaureate planning committee, and Spanish club. Kat's favorite memory from high school was when the girls' track team won the Tri-County home meet her sophomore year. This had been the first home invitational the team had won since Coach Taylor started coaching. Her favorite teacher was Mr. Owsley because he made her love math and love cross country her freshman year. She will miss dressing up with her friends for the themed dress-up days every Friday freshman year. Some additional information Kat wanted to share is, I've been a part of my youth group for 2 years. I've qualified for sectionals twice in cross country, and I've been all conference 3 times. I also earned the Redskin Achievement Award my junior year. Next up, we have Ashlyn Lee, who plans to attend EIU in the fall of 2021 after she's back from National Guard training in the Army National Guard as a vehicle mechanic. Her future goal is to be a mental health counselor to help people. During high school, she worked at Eastview Terrace and Kaskaskia Valley Animal Hospital. She was involved in book club and FFA for 1 year. Ashlyn will miss having the routine and seeing everyone every day. Next, we have Mackenzie Lotzgazelle, who plans to attend EIU to major in art education. She's not sure where her education will take her. During high school, Mackenzie worked at McDonald's and Eastview Terrace. Mackenzie will miss her classes, friends, and seeing everyone she knows every day, making memories that can't be made anywhere else. Next up, we have Seth Mayberry, who will be attending Lakeland College to major in biological sciences. His future goal is to become an optometrist. Seth received the Lippincott Scholarship. He worked at the schools during the summers of 2018 and 2019 for summer help. For 4 years, he was involved in Spanish Club, where he served as secretary, as well as Mirror Images. For 3 years, he was involved in NEHS, where he served as secretary, NHS, and Jazz Band. And for 2 years, he was involved in Scholastic Bowl. Seth's favorite teacher is Miss Lawson. From his first year of high school, when he joined Mirror Images, Miss Lawson wanted to see him become a better actor. He can remember one day at a rehearsal that she had 2 other students hold his arms back in an exercise in order to get him to reach a certain emotion in his acting. From that point on, he was very much encouraged to keep on acting, all because she took the time to help him improve. Miss Lawson is always there for her students. It's almost every day that Seth passed her, standing outside her classroom, giving her warm greetings to everyone who passed by. Seth is going to miss marching in parades, marching out on the football field for halftime shows, performing at marching band competitions, and being with his friends at practices each week of the marching season. Some additional information Seth wanted to share is, I started attending youth group at Sullivan First United Methodist Church in 2017. Since then, I've been involved with various service projects and a mission trip. Next up, we have Maggie McLaughlin, who will be attending EIU to major in pre-veterinary medicine. Her future goal is to become a vet at a zoo with focus on surgery. She's earned the Distinguished Merit Scholarship, the EIU Merit Scholarship, and the Panther Promise tuition waiver. During high school, she worked as a cashier at Ace Hardware. For 4 years, she was involved in Scholastic Bowl, student leadership team. For 3 years, she was involved in NEHS. For 2 years, she was involved in Spanish Club. And 1 year, NHS. Maggie will miss the routine the most. Wake up early, go to class, see her friends and teachers, eat lunch, do homework, go to work, rinse, and repeat. These past few weeks without being able to physically go to school have been the hardest of her high school career, and as much as she didn't care for the schooling itself, the quarantine has made her realize just how much she actually misses being there. Some additional information Maggie wanted to share is, in a few years, I will look fondly back to my high school memories. But alas, it is no longer my house from 8:15 to 3:30. Next up, we have Fisher Moody, who after high school plans to be a part of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers number 34 in Peoria, Illinois. His future goal is to become a union electrician. For 3 years, he was involved in football and baseball. For 2 years, he was involved in basketball. And for 1 year, he was involved in student council, yearbook, and FFA. Fisher's favorite memory is becoming a two-way starter as a senior in football. Next up, we have Adeline Nichols, who plans to attend EIU before transferring to Brigham Young University in Provo, Utah. She will major in biochemistry on the pre-med track. She wants to become a physician or nurse practitioner in the future, hopefully in the field of pediatrics or obstetrics gynecology. Adelie received the EIU Presidential Scholarship, Calvin Family Memorial Scholarship, the Sullivan Civic Women's Club Scholarship, and the Sullivan Lions Club Scholarship. She worked at Mason Point and Courtyard Estates. She's also the neighborhood dog walker. For 4 years, she was involved in student council where she was the chair of teacher appreciation and the American Red Cross blood drives. For 3 years, she was involved in cross country where she served as team captain, football cheer, NHS where she served as president, and EHS and Spanish club. For 2 years, she was involved in track and field and FCCLA. For 1 year, she was involved in volleyball, dance team, basketball cheer, singers, and book club. One of Adelie's favorite memories from high school was actually on her last day. The only thing she remembers from that Thursday was getting to be part of a natural baby delivery at her health OC rotation, and it was awesome and definitely intense. Some additional information Adelie wanted to share is, I worked on my personal progress program for my church for 6 years and was able to earn my medallion this past fall. I was also able to attend the National Youth Leadership Forum Medicine Program at the University of Chicago at Northwestern, as well as attend ALA Girls State and become their now 2019-2021 Nationalist Party leader. Next up, we have Michael Nolan, who plans to attend Lakeland College. His future goal is to become an engineer. For 4 years, he was involved in Scholastic Bowl, marching band, where he was the pit section leader, pep band, and concert band. Micah will miss classes being easy. Next up, we have Kirsten O'Neill, who plans to attend EIU to major in early childhood education. Her future goal is to become a kindergarten teacher. She received the Billy Harris Education Scholarship, David Elsie Memorial Scholarship, Sandra Ball Stone Scholarship, and the Sullivan Civic Women's Club Scholarship. During high school, Kirsten worked at North End Pub and Grill, IGA, and the Sullivan Marina. For 4 years, she was involved in basketball, where she served as captain, and for 1 year, she was involved in softball. Kirsten will miss seeing Hunter Tabor every day. He made her laugh every single day. Some additional information Kirsten wanted to share is, she was involved in Coach McCain's service all 3 years of high school, and it made me realize what I wanted to do with my future. She's helped make me into the person I am today, from in the classroom and on the court. Next up, we have Patrick Owens, who will be attending Lakeland College. His goal is to obtain his journeyman's and eventually master's license and open his own company. During high school, he became the CEO, senior grass technician at Straw Hat Mowing. For 1 year, he was involved in bass fishing and Wise. Patrick's favorite memory is when he got a reckless driving warning for driving away at lunch with his friend on the side of the truck. Next, we have Alyssa Pearson, who plans to attend EIU to major in pre-med. Her future goal is to become a doctor. During high school, she worked as a dietary aide and CNA at Mason Point. Alyssa's favorite teacher is Mr. Bertetto because he is super easy to get along with and knows how to take a joke. He also puts tons of passion into whatever he was teaching, which made his classes way more fun and interesting. She will miss the routine high school gave her, along with all the fun experiences. Some additional information Alyssa wanted to share is, over last summer's break, I went to Lakeland and took a CNA class in order to get my CNA license. Next up, we have Faith Reyna, who's going to be a super senior with work study. Her future goal is to be a cashier at Hardee's. During high school, she worked the Rise and Grind beverage cart as well as being a library assistant. For 4 years, she was involved in Helping Hands and Mirror Images. She was involved in Special Olympics track and field for 3 years and FCCLA for 1 year. Faith's favorite memory is seeing the staff and her friends every day. Her favorite teacher is Mrs. Kirk because she appreciates how she's helped Faith. Faith will miss seeing Mrs. McClellan every day and working in the library. Some additional information Faith wanted to share is, I have many best friends and I love hugs. Next up, we have Gabe Rickelman, who will be attending EIU to major in zoology. He plans to become a herpetologist. During high school, Gabe worked at McDonald's. He was involved in track for 1 year. Gabe's favorite memory is going to lunch with all of his friends. His favorite teacher is Mr. Graham. He pushed Gabe to be his best self and was very down to earth with everything. He will miss seeing his friends. Some additional information Gabe wanted to share is, I've been to Germany, Austria, and Switzerland and plan to go to Europe again next year. Next up, we have Destiny Rowe, who will be attending Lakeland College to study social work. Her future goal is to become a counselor. She was involved in Mirror Images for 1 year, and what she'll miss the most is walking into the school and seeing Nikki. Next up, we have Amanda Ross, who will be attending Lakeland College. Her future goal is to become a registered nurse or CNA. During high school, Amanda worked at McDonald's. Amanda's favorite memory is after prom last year, she and her friends went to Steak and Shake and hung out and ate. Her favorite teacher is Miss Nichols because she got Amanda back into art. Next up, we have Emma Rupert, who will be attending Lakeland College, then to EIU to major in education. Her future goal is to become an early childhood education teacher. During high school, Emma worked at Dairy Delights, Metro, and Monocles. For 1 year, she was involved in student council, and she served as the football manager. Emma's favorite memory is Blake Thompson's Mr. Redskin performance. Her favorite teacher is Mr. Richter for always taking care of his students, making them laugh and feel welcome, and being a great teacher. She will miss messing around in the halls between class periods. Some additional information Emma wanted to share is that she graduated from high school a semester early and began at Lakeland, where she still goes now. Next up, we have Mariah Schrock, who will be attending Lakeland College. Her goal is to become a vet tech or vet assistant. During high school, she worked at Yoder's Kitchen in Arthur. For 4 years, she was involved in FFA. For 3 years, she was involved in NHS. And for 1 year, she was involved in Mirror Images. Mariah will miss the teachers and staff. SHS teachers and staff have always been so helpful and patient when it came to helping her understand anything, whether it was something she learned in class or something going on in general. She enjoyed being able to go to Mrs. Watkins' class every day her senior year and seeing the kids and helping them learn their material. It always gave her a good feeling knowing that she was helping these kids learn. They put a smile on her face. Mariah's Sullivan High School experience was a wonderful and fun one. Some additional information Mariah wanted to share is that she is in youth group. I raised at least $1,000 and became a real McCoy. Freshman and sophomore year, I was elected for Breakfast of Champions. Next up, we have Aiden Short, who will be attending Ohio State University in Columbus, Ohio, to major in electrical and computer engineering. He would like to work for some type of tech company where he can apply what he learned from college to contribute to projects that will have a positive impact on many people. Aiden received the National Buckeye Scholarship. During high school, Aiden worked a part-time job at AgriFab. For 4 years, he was involved in golf, pep band, and concert band. For 3 years, he was involved in marching band, student council where he served as a sergeant of arms, and NEHS where he served as president. For 2 years, he was involved in jazz band, NHS, and Spanish club where he served as president. And for 1 year, he was involved in swimming, track, and esports. Aiden will miss eating lunch at the table every day with his friends. He didn't always have classes with his closest friends, but lunch was the time where they could all talk and have a good time outside of class. Next up, we have Brad Smith, who will be working at S&B Construction in Sullivan after graduation. His future goal is to join an apprenticeship to be an electrician. During high school, Brad worked at S&B Construction. For 4 years, he was involved in football. For 3 years, he was involved in mirror images. For 1 year, he was involved in track. Brad's favorite teacher is Mrs. Badman. She always pushed him to do his best, even if sometimes he didn't listen. Thanks, Brad. Next up, we have Avery Still, who will be attending Lakeland College to major in criminal justice while playing basketball. Her future goal is to protect people and become great in whatever law enforcement department she decides to take on. She received the Lakeland Athletic Scholarship and the Lippincott Scholarship. During high school, she worked at Mason Point. For 4 years, she was involved in basketball, where she served as captain. And for 2 years, she was involved in volleyball, where she served as captain. Avery's favorite memory from high school is winning Homecoming Queen and King with Luke. Her favorite teacher is Miss Gervais. She is one of the most funny and caring teachers Avery has had, and she has loved her since day one. Avery is so upset she got cut short of being one of her students. She will miss the sports, seeing all of her classmates and teachers. It's even harder to deal with knowing she was supposed to see these people for a couple months longer. Next up, we have Desi Sweeney, who will attend SIUE to major in robotics engineering. Desi's favorite teacher is Mr. Lockwood, hands down. The FFA opened up some amazing opportunities for her that otherwise definitely wouldn't have been possible, and she'll always be thankful for that. His classes have 100% made her who she is today. Some additional information Desi wanted to share is, and some advice she has for freshmen: join clubs, sports, do something to make memories here while you can. I promise that once you're a senior, you won't want to look back and see nothing but a monotonous cycle of drudgery. When your high school journey is almost done, and it's going to be a lot faster than you think, you'll learn pretty quickly that you're going to miss this place. Next up, we have Hunter Tabor, who will be enlisting in the Navy. During high school, Hunter worked at the VFW and Rosati's. He was involved in football for 4 years and FFA for 2 years. Hunter will miss seeing his friends. Next up, we have Laura Tate, who will be attending Richland Community College in Decatur to major in child development and education. Her goal is to become a 4th grade teacher. During high school, Laura worked at Rural King. For 2 years, she was involved in softball, and for 1 year, she was involved in golf and mirror images. Laura's favorite memory is going to the elementary school for service and Mrs. Hendry showing her exactly why she wants to be a 4th grade teacher. Laura's favorite teacher is Mrs. Badman. She always believed in Laura through all the tough times. She's always positive about every situation and gave her a reason to smile more every day. Thank you, Laura. Next up, we have Colby Taylor, who will be working at electrical companies around Wheat Ridge, Colorado. His future goal is to become a journeyman electrician and after a couple of years become a master electrician. Colby's favorite memory is the first day of school this year when he got to see all of his friends and peers again. His favorite teacher was Mr. Coy, a PE teacher at his previous school. He's Colby's favorite teacher of all time and is someone he looks up to and looks like as a friend. He will miss his peers and friends and being able to see them on a regular basis. Some additional information Colby wanted to share is, I made honor roll all year long my freshman, sophomore, and junior years of high school. Next up, we have Blake Thompson, who will attend EIU to major in education. His future goal is to have a classroom of his own. During high school, Blake worked at McDonald's and AgriFab. He was involved in band for 4 years, baseball, Scholastic Bowl for 3 years, basketball for 2 years, and esports for 1 year. Blake's favorite memory is the Mr. Redskin competition his junior year. He won and made school history by being the only person that wasn't a senior to win. All of Blake's teachers have helped him many times in his journey through high school, but if he had to pick a favorite teacher, it would be a tie between Mr. Graham and Miss Lawson. They have both pushed and challenged Blake throughout all 4 years. They also had some of the most fun classes he's ever had and wants to model his own method of teaching off of theirs. The thing Blake will miss the most will be seeing all of his peers and teachers every day. This is because they put meaning into his life as a lost teenage boy in a very large world. He will miss everyone. Some additional information Blake wanted to share is, I got the opportunity to compete in the state's Voice of Democracy competition run by the VFW. I placed within the top 17 in the entire state of Illinois. I was also selected to play in the EIU Honor Band and got to spend the day making music with complete strangers. Next up, we have Alexis Wallace, who will be working at Sullivan Healthcare after graduation. Her future goal is to become a nurse practitioner. During high school, Alexis worked at Sullivan Healthcare. She was involved in volleyball for 4 years, track and field for 3 years. Alexis's favorite memory is the seniors playing homecoming games. She still believes the seniors should have won. Next up, we have Dylan Wallace, who will be attending Lakeland for 2 years to major in physical education and nutrition. His future goal is to work as a high school sports team weight trainer. During high school, he worked at Reed Funeral Home, North End, and Courtyard Estates. He was involved in football for 3 years, baseball for 2 years, and track for 1 year. Dylan's favorite memories are being a new student at Sullivan High School, the first football game of sophomore year when Luke Bowman got injured. Although that wasn't his favorite part, he'll never feel a rush like that ever again. Next up, we have Erin Wallace, who will be attending EIU to major in biological sciences. Her future goal is to become either a clinical or child psychiatrist. During high school, she worked at Dairy Delights and M&M Farm. For 3 years, she was involved in softball, where she served as the captain. For 2 years, she was involved in golf, where she served as the captain, student council, scholastic bowl, and student leadership team. And for 1 year, she was involved in basketball cheer, NEHS, and future educators. Erin's favorite memory is going to sectionals with her during her junior year and golfing in the hallways of the hotel and being so close to the other girls on the golf team. Next up, we have Caitlin White, who will be attending Southern Illinois University Edwardsville to major in nursing. Her goal is to obtain her BSN and to start working as a labor and delivery nurse. She then plans to go back to school online to become a pediatric nurse practitioner. Caitlin received the Cougar Pride Scholarship, the Lippincott Scholarship, and Martha and Joseph Schroet Family Scholarship. During high school, she worked at Oakwood Apothecary, Genoa Healthcare, and Windsor's Pub. For 4 years, she was involved in student council. For 3 years, she was involved in NEHS, NHS, Spanish Club, and Singers. For 2 years, she was involved in WISE and Eco Team. Caitlin's favorite memory was junior year going to Nashville with her Singers family. Next up, we have Colin Wickizer, who will be attending Kishwaukee Community College, where he will be serving in the U.S. Army Reserves as a wheeled vehicle mechanic. His future goal is to own his own restoration shop. During high school, Colin worked at McDonald's and Jackson's. He was involved in baseball for 4 years, FFA for 2 years, and golf for 1 year. Colin's favorite teacher is Miss Lawson because she's one of the most hard-working teachers he has ever met. Colin has been very fortunate to have had her for a teacher. She always takes care of her kids, and she brought snacks from time to time. Next up, we have Kylie Will, who will be attending Southern Illinois University Carbondale, majoring in pre-veterinary medicine. Her future goal is to become a vet and possibly open up her own clinic. During high school, Kylie worked as a cashier at IGA. For 1 year, she was involved in football cheer, NEHS, and NHS. Kiley's favorite teacher is Mrs. McClellan. She's one of the most understanding people, and she is such a vibrant and outspoken person, which makes her class the most fun out of all of them. Overall, she's just an amazing teacher. Next up, we have Jessica Williamson, who will be attending EIU to major in pre-nursing while serving in the U.S. Army National Guard as a motor transport operator. Her future goal is to get her master's in nursing and become a surgical nurse while minoring in clinical psychology. She received the Greg Taylor Memorial Track Scholarship, the Lippincott Scholarship, and the Sullivan Civic Women's Club Scholarship. During high school, Jessica worked at Courtyard Estates. For 3 years, she was involved in football cheer and NHS, where she served as secretary. And for 2 years, she was involved in track. Jessica's favorite memory was being able to help present the flag at the 9/11 ceremony. She will miss her grade the most. They didn't always get along, but they've all grown up together these past 12 years. Some additional information Jessica wanted to share is, throughout high school, I was also involved in Junior Auxiliary of the American Legion. I completed basic training for the U.S. Army between my junior and senior year. For cheerleading, I was awarded with the Best Technique Award and the Most Inspirational Award. I was on homecoming court my senior year. Next up, we have Kelsey Winings. She will be attending Lakeland College to major in dental hygiene. Her future goal is to become a dental hygienist. Kelsey received the Lippincott Scholarship. She worked at Sullivan IGA and Eastview Terrace during high school. She was involved in basketball cheer for 3 years, football cheer for 2 years, and NHS for 1 year. Her favorite teacher is Coach Bertetto because he always knew how to light up the classroom and make the activities positive and fun. He also played some pretty good music and had some pretty good dance moves as well. He would always sacrifice his own time to help his students. Next, we have Paige Wyrozumski, who will be attending Parkland College in Champaign to major in special education with audiology as a specialty. Her future goals are to work in an all-deaf school specializing in audiology. During high school, Paige worked at Mason Point. She was involved in yearbook for 2 years and student council and FCCLA for 1 year. Her favorite memory is all the drives to random parts of the state with Alyssa. Her favorite teacher is Mrs. Britton. She was the first teacher Paige ever felt comfortable around. Paige always felt as if she didn't just listen to what needed to be talked about, but she paid attention and actually processed it. Mrs. Britton was always willing to help her with any and everything she needed. She will miss getting to spend every day with her best friends. Oh, and Mrs. Britton's cat stories. Some additional information Paige wanted to share is, the summer between junior and senior year, she took the CNA class at Lakeland and got her CNA license. The best part of this experience was getting to go through it with her best friend. Congratulations, senior class of 2020. Next up, we have the senior superlatives. Earning most sassy, we have Brianna Barracks. Most likely to be a social media star, Claire Appleby. Best hair, Dylan Wallace and Jay Bassett. Biggest flirt goes to Kylie Will. Friends with everyone is Zane Gardner and Jessica Williamson. Most athletic goes to Luke Harlan and Avery Still. Most likely to be ID'd when 30 goes to Cameron Eccles and Kat Kite. Best personality, Seth Mayberry and Aaron Wallace. Most likely to be caught sleeping in class goes to Hunter Tabor and Ashley Hernandez. Most likely to be married first, but not to each other, Ryan Batman and Caitlin White. Best dress goes to Aiden Short and Kirsten O'Neill. Most likely to get a speeding ticket, Patrick Owens and Adeline Nichols. Most school spirit, Blake Thompson and Mina Corkle. Worst driver, Ethan Berger and Corinne Keene. Most changed from middle school, Gary Hirschberger and Maggie McLaughlin. Most likely to be famous, we have Myles Gregory and Sierra Creek. Most likely to be caught texting in class, Trey Fleming. Most likely to trip at graduation, we have Colby Taylor. Biggest drama queen, Kelsey Allen. Best smile, Lainey Boyer. Next up, we have our departmental awards that will be presented by individual teachers. And to get us started, we have our Art Student of the Year presented by Miss Nichols.
Hi, seniors and students. I wanted to come to you today and kind of present a virtual award for my Senior Artist of the Year. Behind me, you can see I have a painting that was in process, but because of our interruption, did not get completed. But as you can see, it's going to be amazing when it is completed, and it was painted by none other than Maggie McLaughlin. Very talented senior. I've known since I met her as a sophomore that she was going to be working above and beyond her grade level, and that she was going to make amazing artwork during the time that she was in high school. So I just want to tell her how fortunate I feel to have been able to work with her, and to thank her for all of her hard work, and to encourage her moving forward to continue to create beautiful work as she has. She's a very flexible artist, works with many different types of materials, always thinking outside of the box, and always creating. And I will miss her greatly. So you are my choice, Maggie, for Senior Artist of the Year, and congratulations, and I will miss you.
Congratulations, Maggie McLaughlin. Next up, we have Vocal Music Student of the Year presented by Mr. Wilson.
Hey everyone, this is Chris Wilson. I am the choral director at Sullivan, and I am here to present the annual Vocal Award that is given every year to a senior who displays not only vocal excellence, but also leadership, character, dedication, and overachievement. I have many seniors that are deserving of this award, as they have all done a great job at showing all of those different characteristics. But there is one that has stood out to me from day one, who not only displayed her leadership characteristics, but was an overachiever in every aspect when it came to vocal excellence. She volunteered for every single time that I needed someone to do the national anthem for a sporting event. She volunteered and auditioned for every single solo opportunity, and also competed in the solo competition. And she has done an amazing job at being a leader for not only one, but two groups this year. And I'm going to miss her so much. She has done everything I've asked of her this year, and even more. And she deserves way more credit than I'm giving her right now. I love this girl to death, and I'm sad to see her go, but I know she's going to do amazing things after she graduates. So, without further ado, I present the 2020 Sullivan Vocal Award to Miss Mina Corkle. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mina. Next up, we have the Mathematics Students of the Year presented by Mrs. Hardiman.
Hey guys, Miss Hardiman here to present the Department Award for Mathematics. In the 3 years that I've been giving this award, it has never gotten any easier to choose who to give it to. I teach senior level AP Calculus AB, so almost all of them, if not all of them, are deserving of such award. So when I think about who to pick for this award, I have to think about more than just academics. So I like to see somebody who I think really enjoys mathematics. I also like to pick somebody that it just comes easy to, that they can breeze through their homework and still get all A's. So the problem is I went back and forth and I just could not pick one person. So I asked, and I'm able to choose 2 people this year. So the first person that I am awarding to has such a personality. He is so funny. He is personable. He's likable. He has 100% right now. He has not missed a point this year. He's going to school for engineering, which I think is amazing. It's such a difficult thing to go into, and I just know he's going to excel so much in that. So for my first person that I'm choosing, I choose Aiden Short. Congratulations, Aiden. I'm so glad that I've gotten to teach you for 2 years. I had you in Algebra 2 and then in AP Calculus. I love how easy it comes to you. I love how that you have excelled so much that you've not even missed a point this year. So I just wanted to say congratulations, and I am very, very proud of you. So the second person I'm awarding doesn't actually have the highest grade in class, because that goes to Aiden. But this person goes in Scholastic Bowl. And this person sometimes comes and tells me, oh, we did that in Scholastic Bowl. I knew that because of this class. It's somebody that I think genuinely likes math. He enjoys it. It's somebody that this comes easy to him. He breezes right through it. He gets everything done on time. I can always count on him to be present, to really get into the material. Sometimes I see him working ahead. He will do problems and make sure that he can do them before I even assign them. This person is amazing. I've never heard him say any bad thing about anybody. And that person is Gary Hirschberger. So congratulations, Gary. I am so excited that I can also recognize you. I think you and Aiden are both amazing. And again, I'm glad that I got to teach you for 2 years. So I had you in both Algebra 2 and Calculus. I've enjoyed so much my time with you guys. And I just wanted to say congratulations again. Good luck in the future.
Congratulations, Aiden and Gary. Next up, we have the Social Studies Student of the Year presented by Mrs. Kirby.
This year's Social Studies Award goes to somebody that excels both in and out of the classroom, taking nearly every one of the social studies classes offered here at Sullivan High School. This person has excelled in all of them. It is with great pleasure that I award Myles Gregory the 2020 Social Studies Award.
Congratulations, Myles. Next up, we have the Family and Consumer Science Student of the Year presented by Mrs. Bushu.
Hello, my name is Jill Bushu, and I am the Family and Consumer Sciences teacher at Sullivan High School. I have had the privilege this year of teaching 3 outstanding young women who have exemplified hard work, creativity, and the ability to go above and beyond to do what is necessary. This year I would like to recognize Mina Korkel, Madison Donsbach, and Kylie Will. But the outstanding FACS student of 2020 is Kylie Will. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Kylie. Next up, we have the Science Student of the Year presented by Mr. Bertetto.
My name is John Bertetto, and I teach biology here at Sullivan High School. I'll be presenting the Science Department Award this year. This year's award goes to a student who has taken almost every science course that Sullivan High School has to offer and has been very successful in all those courses. She's a very talented and impressive student who has become very dedicated to her studies, which she has demonstrated in both the human anatomy and physiology and AP biology courses this year. Not only has she become a natural leader in the classroom, where she pushes herself and others to excel, but she also shows a high level of enthusiasm for the subjects we are discussing. Her level of engagement and participation have been outstanding this year. She's a very inquisitive mind and asks very thought-provoking, analytical questions that challenge those students and myself to really contemplate the subjects we are learning about. She has a true passion for science and biology, which will help her immensely at the college level, where she plans to pursue a degree in biology and possibly a career in the field of genetics. This year's Science Award goes to Miss Cheyenne Hunter.
Congratulations, Cheyenne. Next up, we have the Ag Student of the Year, presented by Miss Lawson on behalf of Mr. Lockwood.
Due to unforeseen circumstances, Mr. Lockwood was unable to submit a video for this year's Outstanding Agricultural Student. I know he really wanted to do one because he is so proud of this year's recipient, but it just could not happen this year. This year's Outstanding Student has been a member of the FFA for 4 years and is a recipient of the state FFA degree. He has been an Ag Ed Proficiency winner on the sectional and district levels, was the star agribusinessman for his chapter, was the top chairperson for Parley Pro, and was an Ag Safety Day facilitator. He also serves as president for both our SHS and Section FFA chapters, representing 17 schools and over 1,000 students. He has also served as a vice president, reporter, and treasurer for Sullivan FFA, and has been a voting delegate at the National FFA Conference. He is currently in the application stage for holding a state FFA office next year. He has been involved in the Moultrie County Ag Literacy Coalition, Growing Agricultural Science Teachers Program, and the Illinois Association of Vocational Agriculture Teachers Program, and has attended multiple leadership conferences. He assists Mr. Lockwood in the classroom as a mentor for the introduction for the agriculture industry and exploratory agriculture classes. This young man is a positive and helpful person who has worked hard to build and maintain a positive atmosphere in the ag classroom. He always does his best in class, and he leads by example. On behalf of Mr. Don Lockwood, I would like to announce Zane Gardner as this year's Outstanding Agriculture Student. Congratulations, Zane.
Congratulations, Zane. Next up, we have the Louis Armstrong Jazz Award, presented by Mr. Schaefers.
The Louis Armstrong Jazz Award was inaugurated in 1974 with consent of his widow shortly after this great jazz artist died in 1971. This national award is unique in that it is presented to only one graduating student per high school band program each year. In recognition of outstanding achievements in the field of jazz as demonstrated through superior musicianship, character, and individual creativity, the Louis Armstrong Jazz Award is hereby presented to Dayton Gardner. His name is engraved on the plaque in the band room and will be here for many years to come. Congratulations, Dayton.
Yes, congratulations, Dayton. Next up, we have the John Philip Sousa Award, also presented by Mr. Schaefers.
Introduced in 1955 to honor an outstanding student in the high school band, the John Philip Sousa Band Award recognizes superior musicianship and outstanding dedication. It was created with the approval of Helen Sousa Albert and Priscilla Sousa, daughters of the famous composer and bandmaster. This national award is unique in that it is presented to only one graduating student per high school band program each year. In recognition of outstanding achievements as demonstrated through superior musicianship, character, and leadership, the John Philip Sousa Award is hereby presented to Ian Hill. His name is engraved on the plaque in the band room and will be here for many years to come. Congratulations, Ian.
Congratulations, Ian. Next up, we have the Business Student of the Year, presented by Mrs. Britton.
This year's Business Department Award goes to a quiet gentleman who works hard and leads by example. He has taken a variety of core academic and business courses to develop his skills and create the knowledgeable young man that he is. This year's award goes to Gabe Rickelman.
Congratulations, Gabe. Next, we have the Technology Students of the Year presented by Mr. Weldy.
Good evening. My name is Mark Weldy. I'm the IT Director for Sullivan Schools, and I'm also a teacher for graphic design, web design, digital media, and computer concepts. Today I get the honor of awarding 2 high school seniors the Technology Student of the Year Award. And the reason I'm doing 2 is because they have helped me in 2 very different ways. One has been an integral part of the Student Tech Service Center, whereas the other one has been very involved with me on the other side of tech and all things within the school. Both have been instrumental to the success of the tech programs here at the Sullivan High School. So it's my pleasure to be able to honor these 2. The first student has been a part of the Student Tech Service Center from the beginning. And the Service Center was designed to help teachers and staff here at Sullivan High School. The student has performed many of the tasks at the STSC, which include repairing iPads, working on various desktop computers, including changing out RAM, installing new video cards, as well as replacing hard drives. They have also assisted with tickets that come in through our online ticket system, and has literally printed thousands of pages of documents for our teachers here at the SHS. This student has been a joy to not only have this year, but in previous years as well. They are always making sure everything is completed as soon as they can. They've even been coming in before the first bell of the day to check to make sure there were no urgent needs needed by our teaching staff here. It is my pleasure to award the Technology Student of the Year Award to Ms. Brianna Barracks. The next student I'd like to recognize has helped me with technology here at the school in many of the same manners above, but this student has repaired countless numbers of iPads, helped to rebuild and build desktops for the school district. They've been involved in helping install and repair broken network cable. They've had the pleasure of seeing just how dirty a desktop can get when we're going through and updating our iPads or desktops. This past year, the student has helped test many of our new programs and systems that are now part of our curriculum here at Sullivan High School, like the Adobe Cloud and our Computer Concepts class. Not only are they familiar with all the above, but they're also responsible for helping make sure that over 1,200 iPads were updated and enrolled in our mobile device management system, and help put hundreds of iPads into our students' hands, fully updated and ready for the new school year. The student not only works with me over the school year, but has spent many hours with me over the summer performing a multitude of tasks, including taking inventory and making sure our rooms are ready for our teaching staff and that everything is good to go. If you have not already guessed by these statements, this amazing young man whom this last year would not have been possible to be ready for the new year because he helped me get ready 300 iPads in a matter of weeks, is the next Technology Student of the Year Award goes to Mr. Gary Hirschberger. Congratulations, you two, and thank you very much for everything you've done.
Congratulations, Brianna and Gary. Next up, we have the Physical Education Student of the Year presented by Mr. Toller.
My name is Coach Toller, and I'm here to present the Senior Award for Rec PE. Our class is a participation-based class, so attitude, effort, and participation are the main keys to our criteria or the grading scale. Our winner this year, over the course of not just this year, but 2 years, not once got a participation point deducted during activity periods or activity classes. So that model of consistency, combined with the fact that he never once had an issue with another classmate and never caused a problem, is what got him the award. He also was my service worker for 2 different semesters. Last year, the second semester in second hour, and this year in 8th hour. He did a great job helping out Miss Davis's students, working with them and making sure they were involved in our activities in 8th period PE. I've really enjoyed the 2 years I've gotten to teach and work with this student. So the 2020 Rec PE Senior Award goes to Michael Nolan. Congratulations, Michael.
Yes, congratulations, Michael. Next up, we have the weightlifting student of the year, and this information is presented by Coach Black.
Hello, my name is Coach Black, and I am presenting this year's weightlifting award. This award goes to someone who excels in the weight room and worked very hard to accomplish their goals. This year's weightlifting award winner is Brad Smith. Brad set a personal best in squat with a lift of 475 pounds. This ranks Brad third all-time in squat. Congratulations, Brad.
Yes, congratulations, Brad. Next up, we have our English Student of the Year, presented by Miss Lawson.
I'm Becky Lawson, and I am here to award the Outstanding Senior English Student for 2020. Mrs. Badman noted that she had the privilege of teaching him for the last 2 years as an honors English junior and in her senior AP Language and Composition class. She said that she was initially impressed with his effortless, beautiful writing, and that from there he has never ceased to impress her. From his verbal contributions to class discussion and his willingness to take on more English classes than required, he is a model student. She said that she will miss his genuineness, his smile, and his compassion for others, and that she is proud to have been his English teacher. I also had the great privilege of teaching this young man as a freshman. He was, even then, an incredible writer. He has continued showing his ability in writing and helping write the last 4 scripts for Mirror Images for our plays. A gifted creative writer as well as a researcher and regular writer, this young man has also shown great diversity in his ability to act and as a public speaker. He is truly what we look for in an outstanding senior English student. It is with great honor that I announce this year's Outstanding English Department Senior, Mr. Seth Mayberry. Congratulations, Seth. We're all very proud of you.
Congratulations, Seth. Next up, we have the Foreign Language Student of the Year, presented by Senora King.
Greetings, students, parents, and guests of honor. My name is Mrs. King, and I'm here to honor a well-deserved individual. Let me begin by saying that choosing just one individual for this award was a very challenging task. However, one student stood out from the rest of the class. This student has been a delight to educate. He's a leader by example. He's humble, hardworking, and kind to everyone. He always does the right thing even when no one is watching. This year's Spanish Student of the Year is Seth Mayberry. Seth gives 100% in everything he does. His hard work has been evident through the quality of work he has completed this year for both AP and Latin American studies and through his 4 years of Spanish education. In spite of his busy academic schedule, Seth made himself available to help in several occasions. He was instrumental behind the scenes in helping get ready for several Spanish club events. As the Spanish club secretary, he went above and beyond what was expected of him. Determination, hard work, humility, and a can-do attitude will lead him to a very successful life. Seth Mayberry, Miguelito, estoy muy orgullosa de ti. Congratulations.
Congratulations again, Seth. Next up, we have our Library Aid of the Year.
In a world under constant threat of screens, gaming, phones, Netflix, there's one thing we need, and one girl. Okay, more than one girl, but she's definitely included. to check them out. From a young age, Ashley had a helper's spirit, but who could have guessed she'd become the library hero the world needs?
She is just so nice, so genuine. You know, one of those people who just doesn't even know the meaning of the word sarcasm. A real sweetheart.
She is?
Okay, maybe she knows the meaning of the word sarcasm because she probably employs it in over 50% of her daily dialogue. But she is a really hard worker, a reader, a bit of a comedian, and she makes the library a better place because she's in it. So thank you, Ashley Hernandez, who has been gunning for this award ever since she started working in the library, but who has also earned it through her awesomeness.
Ashley Hernandez, Library Hero, 2020 winner of the Library Worker of the Year Award.
Congratulations, Ashley. That does conclude our departmental awards. Now a word from Mr. Allen.
Hello, seniors. Happy Decision Day. I just want to congratulate you all and tell you all that I'm incredibly proud of you. I think very highly of this senior class, and I just know you're all going to do great things. One last note that I want to leave you with is that I want to encourage you to do something in your careers that is something that you are passionate about, something that you want to do. 40 to 60 hours a week just to make money is not necessarily going to be a pleasant route to take. So make sure it's something that you want to do if able. I also want to say, do everything to the best of your ability. I truly, honestly believe you all have the opportunity to change the world, whether through small or big ways. And I want you to seize that opportunity and do great things because everybody in this school knows that you can. Thank you for all that you've done for me and for this school. And I wish you the best of luck in your futures.
On behalf of all teachers, staff, and administration, congratulations to the senior class of 2020. You will always have a home here at Sullivan High School. Follow your dreams. Best of luck in all your future plans.